Emily Severry.
Arlene Schofield.
My name is Shireen Snow.
My name is Carla A. Miles.
Diana Camuto.
This is Christine Dunford.
I'm me, Eden.
Caroline Macy. This is Walker Fannin.
I'm Camille Dixon.
I'm Sarah Dates Wardam.
My name is Linda Preston, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. This is episode 438. I'm here with the talented and beautiful Amber Wedge. So I want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, the honor's all mine. Now, for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up and you should prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels don't dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And you should prove to them you can break the labels. So that being said, half hour, 37 minutes of your time. Gonna ask you some easy questions, some hard-hitting ones. And start off and then ask you the easy ones. When you were growing up, how was life growing up? And did you do any sports?
I did do sports. I was very active growing up. I did basketball, I did soccer, I was in band all through middle school and high school. I was in ROTC in high school, I was on student council. So I was really, active as far as that aspect goes. But at the same time, I was really picked on a lot. Whenever I was growing up, I got bullied a lot by a lot of people, and I think it's because I was so interactive with everybody, and I was always wanting to be everyone's friend, and growing up, everyone has their certain cliques, and because I was friends with all the cliques, people didn't like it very much, and they kind of lashed out at me a lot, so that was hard, but, you push through that, and you overcome those types of situations by not letting hurtful words or, the things that people do to you, you grow and you build on that and you grow stronger and you learn from it. It's always nice to learn constructive criticism. Don't let everybody, that are hating on you or being mean, get to your heart, because that's just one person out of thousands. So, it's something I had to teach myself.
No, absolutely. I can relate to that. Growing up with a disability, I had people, poke fun at me, gang up on me. Unfortunately, I still have that to this day. But, it's always, you have to overcome all the BS, all the bullshit. You have to say, you're going to be a better human being from them.
Right. Exactly.
Now, my next question I was going to ask you was, did you do any sports growing up? And were you a study nerd or party animal?
Like I mentioned before, I do sports. I did a basketball and soccer. Was never really a party animal. I'd have to say I was kind of a study nerd and a gamer. I stayed at home and played video games.
Do you still play video games, or you don't do that anymore?
No, I still play. I probably own about every game console you could think of.
Do you like PlayStation or do you like Xbox?
I prefer Xbox.
I'm more of a Sony person.
Yeah. Sony, I always said once they come out with a Kingdom Hearts 3 that I would buy another Sony. But I do have a PS4, but I just don't play it much. There's a lot of games on Xbox that I kind of prefer.
Understandable. I haven't played any video games as of late because I've been focused on my talk show for the four. I can't speak too early. for the past 4.5 years, which June will be 5. So for the past 4.5 years, I've been just focused on my talk show, and I don't know, I kind of lost interest in playing video games.
Yeah, video games is kind of like an outlet. So if you've got other things going on, then it's like, it gets put on the back burner. At least I feel that way for me. It's my time. I maybe spend a couple hours a month now playing video games. Not much.
Now, my next question I was going to ask you is, did you ever get to do one of those human pyramids, or not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
What do you mean?
Oh, like, basically a group of people come together and form a shape of a pyramid.
Never done it.
Would you be interested in doing one?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on if I'm going to be on the bottom or if I'm going to be on the top.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
I don't know if I want to be on the bottom of a pyramid. That may break my back.
Hey, don't try it. Don't knock it till you try it, right?
Yeah, right.
So something I always, I don't know, it's human art. It's an exercise. It's just something I found very interesting.
This is the first I'm really ever hearing about it. When I think of pyramids like that, I think of cheerleading.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it, right? Now, my next question I was going to ask you is, who influenced you to become an actress, and how many years have you been acting?
Well, I've actually, the whole acting thing, like it's, I've always had a fascination about it. But really more so, I've done a lot of modeling and like talent shows and singing and stuff like that and performing on that type of base. I've been doing that since I was about 8 or 9 years old. So I've been doing that for a long while. Now, I have done a lot of extra work and background work for movies and TV shows back in my teenage years, and commercials. I've done 3 commercials. Other than that, I haven't really done too much acting. I'm just now really getting into the acting. Like I'm starting to get a lot of casting calls, and I'm going to them and auditions, and haven't been casted yet. Keeping my fingers crossed for tonight about one part. Hopefully I get it. But yeah, so I'm just now kind of getting more involved with the acting aspect of it.
All right. What about, I know we mentioned this off the air, but what about voiceovers? So do you like being on the camera, or would you like to do voiceovers for cartoons and video games?
I like both. I like being on camera because I can actually become this other person, which I think is really fun. But voiceovers is super cool because you can kind of play with your voice, or you can do whatever you want, so you can, and people can't see you, they see the character. So you literally become this whole other character that, that you, whoever you want to be.
Oh, for perfect examples, do you do impressions?
Impressions? My own impressions.
For example, go ahead.
Not of anyone in particular, I don't, no.
What about, can you do different voices?
Yeah, I could do different voices. It just depends on what type of voice you want.
Alright, well, can you do a little boy and a little girl?
Well, I don't know. I may be able to do a little boy, but I'm not really sure. And a little girl, it just depends on what we got to talk about. Can we go play
sounds
now?
really good. I can do some voices. I can do Yogi Bear. Hey, boo boo.
That's cool.
I can do Ray Romano a little bit. Hey, come on. I just bought this deodorant. Why can't you go on by your own?
That's awesome. That's super awesome.
Did you ever see Banana Man? I know that's going back to the 80s. Well, there's just a lot of different varieties about, different variations. I don't know how to say varieties. Different variations of it. It's just more like, well, gazam, kapow. I can do like that. But, those are the three I can do off the top of my head. Actually, I can do one more. So I liked, do you like Star Trek at all?
I'm more of a Star Wars fan. Gotta tell you.
There's the guy named George Takei. Yeah, my dad hates when I do this, but I walk around and people are like, oh my.
I bet you would do a good Melvin imperson or Marvin the Martian. That's who it is. Marvin the Martian from Looney Tunes.
I know him, but I haven't heard the voice, so it's kind of really hard to do.
Right.
You're making me very, very angry. You like something like that,
There
right?
you go. Yeah. I don't know, guys. It's all about the water.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, have you worked with anyone with disabilities besides me? Have you ever worked with people with disabilities, and would you be willing to work with people with disabilities?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've actually worked with people with disabilities a lot, especially like in school and stuff like that. Like I would always go and help with the special needs classes. And actually my brother lives with me, and he is 46 years old, and he was actually, when he was born, he was diagnosed as mentally challenged, and I help take care of him, and so, yeah, I'm always open to helping, people who have disabilities. My cousin, he's autistic, and he has Down syndrome, and he is actually in the Special Olympics.
Yeah, nice.
So,
congrats.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Like it's nice to be able to help someone and see that that they can push forward through it that they want when they said it.
No, I agree with you. It's just like what I was saying in my logo. So labels don't dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and it's approved about you can break the labels.
Right.
Now, for people who want to follow in your footsteps. I know there's like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Stage 32, LinkedIn. I don't know if I said LinkedIn already, but but yes, there's LinkedIn. How many times can you say LinkedIn? So what were the websites that you used to get to where you're going? Like I know there's like Backstage, Access, but what were like the top websites you would recommend that helped you?
As far as like getting gigs, like in auditions, or just to market myself and be on social media?
Well, a little bit of everything.
Okay. Well, I use a lot of Instagram, and I use a lot of Facebook. Facebook and Instagram are the two main social networks that I use as far as that type of platform goes. But when it comes to like casting and stuff like that, I'm a part of Backstage.com. I'm also a part of Model Mayhem. I'm a part of Explore Talent. I'm a part of Frontier Casting, and I'm also a part of Network Casting. Some of those are through my agents that I am actually a part of, my modeling agencies. So yeah, I have a lot of different outsources to go and to be able to network and get gigs and auditions and and everything of that nature that involves and entails in my line of career.
No, absolutely. I do like Backstage. On LinkedIn. Again, it was LinkedIn. It's funny because LinkedIn. How many times am I gonna keep saying that? I can't say it with a straight face. I used that website. There you go. I used that website when I first started my talk show. I looked for certain people and I would add them, and then I would introduce myself. So my first half of the year and a half was from all the contacts that I made from LinkedIn. But I'm also on Stage 32, and that came into play. Recently, I've been using Facebook and Twitter for everything. Instagram, it's hit and miss because, I would introduce myself, but they don't always answer back. So I'm like, screw it. I'll stay with Facebook and then Twitter.
Right. I'm hoping to use use YouTube here soon. As soon as some of my music gets copyrighted, I'm gonna start hopefully working on some music videos and stuff to put that on there, and SoundCloud and iTunes and stuff. But gotta get my songs copyrighted first before I can get them up there. I'm super excited, though. I can't wait. Very, very excited for the release of all my music.
Oh, while on the subject, what can you tell us about your music? Is there a couple of song titles you want to mention? You want to plug them?
Well, I'm more of like an Adele or Kelly Clarkson. So I have that strong, soulful powerhouse voice. Love Katy Perry, stuff like that. So it's upbeat, hip hop, R&B-ish. I don't have anything that I can sample at this moment. Like I said, I'm waiting on all the copyrights to come back from the copyright or the Library of Congress or whatnot. As soon as I get the okay that all my songs have been copyrighted, then I'm going to be distributing it like crazy.
Well, there's something else called Rocket Warrior. You can always try them.
Say what?
Oh, there's something called Rocket Warrior. I came across them a while ago. I know.
Yeah, I've never heard of them or that. I don't know what that is.
And basically, it's like an online war firm. You can copyright things.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I'd rather just go through the Congress of Library. I mean, it takes like up to 8 months, but it's been in there for like 4, so I'm expecting it back. Hopefully very soon, but that's like the 100% legit, can't go wrong there.
That's true, and you can always pay for the name, like what I'm doing. Like, no one can use the Keith Andrew Network because I'm paying for that name.
Right. Yeah.
Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you, what's my next question? Oh, how do you feel about social media? Can social media make you or break you?
I think you can do both. I think that social media can very easily make someone overnight. We've seen it happen, right? Everyone. And it can also break you, depending on the type of news feeds that you post and the type of image that you're portraying for yourself on social media. I think that it can really hinder certain opinions of people about you. And you can very easily, go in a downward spiral with any type of career if you're misusing social media. Definitely.
Could you give us a perfect example of what you mean by misusing? Well, I know people, make fun of other people, but can you give us your example?
Well, yeah, right. Like, well, if people are making fun of you or, like, I don't know. Like, for me, one big thing is, like, a lot of the memes. Like, I'm sure you're familiar with all the memes that are out there, right? Some of them can be really, really funny. Other ones can be really, really offensive. So, like, if I have someone that's posting a bunch of offensive memes all the time, like, that's something, like, for me as a person, I would unfollow that person immediately because I don't want to see negativity on my news feeds or, inappropriate things on my news feeds. Like, and that's what I mean by, like, it can break you, it just depends on what type of posts that you're posting because, everyone has an opinion, unfortunately, and, and it can hurt your reputation if you're doing a lot of things like being negative and posting unwanted things. People won't want they won't want to be a part of you then.
Yeah, I agree with you. And now, what about, say, trying to find words for the next subject, trying to find, drawing a blank. What about, say, like, when you first introduce someone, like you introduce yourself to someone, and for me, I kind of rub people the wrong way. Not deliberately, it's just part of my mannerisms. I have poor mannerisms. So, like, there's a couple people, they blocked me. Because I kept asking, hey, you want to be on my show? You want to be on my show? And it's kind of like, how about you just, when I say to people, you can follow me, let me explain myself, and if you say no, okay, fine, whatever. And I usually block the person afterwards. But it's kind of like, what's wrong with giving people an opportunity? What's wrong with saying, okay,
right.
Like for example, when I came over to you, you were nice enough to say, okay, just sounds interesting. I give them a chance. You didn't say block right away. I know there's a lot of spammers out there.
Yeah, I always take the time to read something, and I'm always about giving someone an opportunity. So it's, I thought it was nice that you reached out to me. I was kind of honored.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you supporting a good cause, making a new friend out of it. And actually, there's the next subject I do want to talk to you about. For people, and don't mind me just trying not to, I'm trying to show off my scenery.
I see.
But for people who say, I want to be paid to be on air, like say, for an example, I don't know, I would like to interview some of your girlfriends if they're up for it. And they say, well, I would only be on the show if he pays me. For people who just care about money, just using a hypothetical. So people here are just about money. It's kind of like, okay, I told you what I'm doing and the point of my show, but yet you're only looking at me for a quick payday. Do you think once money is introduced, they completely miss the fact or take advantage of what you're doing?
Yeah, I think that money can influence like a lot of people to do things. Me, unfortunately, that doesn't bother me. Like I do a lot of TFP, which is time for print, because I'm a firm believer that you always have to build a foundation, and you can't expect someone to pay you for something if you don't have one, either the experience in it, or two, just they don't know you. They don't, or, like there's just so many opportunities out there. So for me, regardless of whether I'm getting paid or not, if I think it's for a good cause, like I'll jump on it either way. Like money's not, that doesn't faze me. But I do think that it does influence a lot of people to go in whatever direction that they're going. And yes, I think that it can make that person want to take advantage of a situation, just like you just mentioned.
No, I agree. There's a couple of wrestlers that I come to mind. It's like, oh, I introduce myself. It's like, yeah, it's great what you're doing, but you have to pay me for your time. And I used to pay people, and I'm like, you know what? I came up to the point where, one, I'm not on a freaking ATM machine, I don't have sucker written across my head. And two, if I have to pay you, it's like I have to bribe you to be on my show. You're not doing it because it's a good cause. You're doing it because you're getting something out of it, apparently.
Right.
But it's kind of like, it's just one of those things where it's kind of like it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, there's a couple of wrestlers that, blocked me or I blocked them because, they said, oh, you have to pay me. I was like, I don't do that. It's like, well, and there comes season.
Yeah.
So it's
I get that.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I get that a lot.
Well, with that being said, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. And with the last couple of minutes, I'm going to pass the show over to you.
Okay.
Me, Mark Medley.
Hi, everybody. This is Mark Neely.
Barry Papick.
This is Peter Bruno.
My name is Kyle Collier. This is Julio Santiago, better known as Dynamite.
I'm Richard Epcar.
Orange Chow.
This is Kerrigan Mahan.
This is Goldar.
And we both support
Keith Andrew.
My name is Ron Wasserman, and I am supporting Keith Andrew on what he is doing, and you better do the same, or I'm going to come kick your ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the KeithAndrewNetWork. Well, now, it's the last 8 minutes and counting down. I'm going to pass over the show to you. Was there anything you wanted to talk about, promote? This is your time, after all.
Well, definitely for anyone who wants to follow me on my journey, as I mentioned before, I am working on my own music album. I'm starting to get more and more auditions for small parts and roles, so I would definitely love for all of you to follow me, and watch me on my journey. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. So I see back there. So can you explain to me what is that all back there?
Alright, make a long story short, a lot of people like to poke fun because I'm in my studio, aka bedroom. I usually when I have my camera, and every season's different. First I had my desk over here, so you had everything over here, my posters. And now with the editing, it's got to be cut in half. And I was like, well, instead of doing like this on the box to bed, I'm like, screw up. Why not have some decorations? And my sort of off was like this, without rambling. Alright, so I have my belt. And this belt basically symbolizes everything with a disability. And it's pretty much the joke is you don't buy yourself a trophy. but my family thinks it's funny. It's like, Keith is the only person that goes out and buys a trophy for himself. Trophies earned, you don't buy yourself a trophy. So the joke is trophy for me. But it's basically custom made. I custom the whole thing. And anyone who wants to buy a belt can go to crowns.com. You can do a baseball one, you can do a football one. Then I have my WWF one. I had that from 97. I rebought my own Heart toy. I'm a big Heart family member. Well, no, I'm not actually a member. I'm just a big fan of the Heart Foundation. Long story short, I had that when I was a kid, about 2001, 2002. I was over at my friend's house, and I didn't care at the time. I was like, hey, you can have it. It's banged up, but you can have it. And then I tried getting it back, second not getting it back, so I said, hell, so I'm just going to rebuy it. So I'm basically a wrestling fan. My brother used to work for GameStop back in 2008, 2009. That's where that poster came from. It used to be a big banner, like one of those big, one of those jumbo-sized plastic laminate banners. And it was so big, I didn't know what to do with it. It was always getting bent and all out of shape. I said, hell with it. I really don't need all of this. So I cut it out. So I had just the Raw SmackDown. That's why it looks like that. But, I'm just wanting to make it look nice and just have little decorations on it. So I'm trying different little things to say, hey, look at what I can do.
Right. It's awesome. It's awesome. I think that you should always, pursue your creative sides and express yourself.
Yeah, I agree with you. And knock on wood, I might be able to get my own studio. So, actually, that's my next question for you. But I may get my own studio on public broadcasting. I told them to wait till spring because right now it's the winter. But I was thinking recently, instead of me just randomly popping on and saying, hey, look what I do, I'd say, how would it be a possibility for me to be interviewed on public broadcasting, then saying I'm now joining public broadcasting, instead of randomly popping out like a pimple and saying, oh, here he is. And so instead of just doing like that, I can be interviewed, but I didn't hear back. And the other thing I said to him, and I'm going to say to you, is all my shows are usually PG, and they go from PG, PG-13, and then the highest they would go is like TV-14. Mm-hmm. But I cater to everyone. So I cater to different genres and different people, and so I try different things. It's always good to test the water, see what catches people's imaginations. And I know when you're on TV, there's certain rules you have to go by. And I said, well, to let you know, I would like to keep the show as it is because I want to feel comfortable doing what I'm doing. And it's got to be between PG, PG-13, and I kind of said maybe 14. It's like, yeah, I kind of stuck my foot in my mouth for that one. But, I'm waiting for them to get back. I said, well, we can work in the spring together. But, it's... Yeah, my show's usually PG, PG-13 for the most part. But, it is freedom of speech, self-expressing. You can say whatever you want. But with that being said, I do have 2 questions for you and a couple questions off the air. And the first one is, are you on social media? I know we talked about this earlier. But are you on Twitter, LinkedIn, Stage 32? How can your fans follow you?
They can follow me on Instagram. It's model_Amber Kelsey. They can also follow me on Facebook, which is model.Amber Kelsey on Facebook. Yes, I am on Twitter, just started it. I'm kind of locked out of it right at this moment, so I definitely have to do like a post queue for my Twitter account information. And I'm also on Snapchat. I just started that as well. I'm trying to think. I think that's really all of the social media that I'm on right now. But right. I really, really utilize Facebook the most. So if that's where you guys follow me and see me at, you got to hit me up on there because I post on there almost every day on the regular.
No, absolutely. I'm pretty much like on Twitter every day, so when I remember to do it. But my last question for you, well, wrapping up on the show, I'm a Bill O'Reilly fan, so going on a record. But most of the spin stuff's here, but copyrighted. So going on a record, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction, and what made you say yes? And be completely honest.
Well, my first reaction was, that I was just honored that you would even want me to come on your talk show. I'm very, very appreciative of that. But then as soon as you told me that, what your talk show is about, it really struck a chord with me. I really, really support people that have learning disabilities and pushing through to do whatever they want to do. The sky is the limit. There are no limitations, and as long as they can get past what they feel is a limitation, I know that anyone can pursue their dreams. And, and I just really want to be a voice for that. I really do, because I really, really believe in it.
No, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. While wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.